Hey, how's everybody doing there today? I'm Patrick Dune, and we're Patrick Dune and the Desert Hearts. We're at KUHS Radio today to talk about the new single that we're about to release here. It is called Beautiful Letdown. It is coming out today, officially released, and it is the first single off our new record called Days Go By, and that'll be released this summer. And I have my two bandmates with me today that are down from Toronto, which I'm very excited about, and they're playing on this new record, and we haven't played together, officially since the 80s, so I'm very excited about that.
Wow, Patrick, how long has it been? I tell you, it's been a long time.
It has. Yeah, thanks for having me back, Henry. I know we haven't released an official single probably since before COVID, and been doing a lot of stuff in my studio in town here in Colorado, but got the itch, wanted to start playing music again, been writing a lot of new songs and stuff, and wanted to get out and start playing again, and reconnected with Kevin, my longtime friend from the 80s. He originally played with me in my original band, my very first band, called The Keep, back in Toronto in Canada. And we've had a number of singles out when we did a lot of stuff then. And then a friend of his, Mike Baxter, who is the bass player. I know these guys go way back.
Since high school.
Since high school, yeah.
Known each
So
other.
what he's saying is they went to separate high schools together.
We went to separate high schools together.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, I grew up in Pickering,
Yes.
which is a suburb outside of Toronto.
And I remember we talked about that in your
Yeah.
last. It's been a while since you've been to KUHS, and we have a new studio here.
Yeah.
It's completely different now. So
Totally, it's a totally different location. I was surprised when I walked in. It's much bigger scale. So we're happy to be here.
it's nice. Yeah, it's like, and then you bring your bandmates.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you bring them along so we can have some more
Yeah,
discussion.
absolutely.
And then you just brought out this new single, right?
Yeah. We're officially releasing. We bought some cards for you here, which is the new single. It's called Beautiful Letdown. So we're gonna leave some cards and maybe a few autographs for you today for them. And this is officially released online and to radio officially today. So you can start to get it online and download it. And that'll be the first single, like I mentioned, off our new record called Days Go By, and it's coming out probably in July.
And nowadays, everything's gone digital, where you can do all these different kind of things so well and so easy.
Right.
You have it up online, so you can 99-cent download it yet? Or?
Yeah. We got it up for streaming.
$5.
I think it's probably going to be a couple bucks, yeah, for
Because
the
of
first
tariffs.
single. Yeah, exactly. Well, you know how much money we make when we stream music these days.
Yeah, that's right.
Not a lot.
I made 17 cents, dude.
But we're just excited. All of us are excited, to all reunite, do this record. But we're just excited to get out and start playing again, right?
Playing live again. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know.
So who's all in your band? I want you to. Said I had a gal in here. She forgot to name all the band members. Even forgot to name the band that was with her.
Yeah.
She just talked about herself, and we better name the entire band.
Absolutely. Well, the nucleus of the band is the three of us. So I'm Patrick Dune.
I'm Kevin White.
Hi, I'm Michael Baxter.
And now we do have a fourth unofficial member right now, which is a new lead guitar player.
Nice.
So he just currently joined the band. He wasn't able to join us today, but he will be playing most of the shows with us as well too.
Oh,
so.
nice. Yeah, and so I was trying to determine what was the last time I went back. I was looking at some of the archives of when you were last into one of the studios. It's been a long time, dude.
It has. It's been probably about
You made a
couple.
song, Maria.
Maria, that's right. We
Yeah,
released
I
a
remember
single,
that, yes.
Maria. Yeah. For my wife Maria.
Yes,
So,
that's right.
and then the single, I think, that came out after that, or maybe before that, the other single was We're the Lucky Ones.
That's right. Yeah.
That was the
So I was
other
trying to go back because I was looking at some
Yeah.
of the titling on when you were here last. It was I remember the Maria song because
Yeah,
you brought it
absolutely.
in and you played it. We played
Yeah,
it. And it was
yeah,
really nice. And
yeah.
I was thinking it was 5 years.
At least about
Or
5.5 years.
Yes,
Yeah,
right
maybe
in
almost
there.
6 years.
Yes.
Yeah, because COVID in between that, and then everything kind of slowed down, and kind of slow start to getting back
I
out
know
there.
it really was for
Yeah,
everybody.
but we're excited about the new record. We're really happy the way all the mixes are coming out and everything.
Sounding great.
and we can't wait to get it released, and we just want to start playing again. You know.
And Patrick, when we see each other after all this time, he said, "Look, my hair." My hair is like, I said, it's chrome. It ain't white, dude.
Well, I got a free gray hairs now, right?
At least
Yeah.
you guys have
chrome.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the only one this morning that semi had to do my hair.
Hey,
Okay, you got
It's a
some.
proper rug here, you know, it's stuck on good and proper now, it's okay, it's all right, not gonna.
That's
So when we
funny.
start playing, so we have a new agent that's representing us is now too in town for the U.S. and we probably have a few more shows that are not confirmed, maybe coming up in July timeframe, but we have a big show coming up in August on the 22nd.
Now, if my memory's correct, and I don't have a good memory now that I'm aging, but I do. I actually do. You played with Kenny Loggins?
No,
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 who was
no.
it that you played with?
Well, with the original, like with my older bands?
Yes.
Well, I'm originally from Canada and the
Right,
U.S.
yes.
And came to the U.S.
Right.
about 14 years ago. So in Canada over the years, we toured with a number of great Canadian artists
The
like
big-
yeah, like Platinum Blonde
There you
and
go.
Corey Hart.
Yes.
And we did some shows with Bryan Adams opening up for him and stuff as
That,
well
now I
too.
remember, yes.
Yeah, so we did a lot of great Canadian acts, as well as Mike. Mike was signed in for years on a label in Canada and played with the Belvistas.
Yeah, and we actually toured with, we played with like Jeff Healey back in the day, Tom Cochran, Rodeo.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Canada
Bunch
and
of-
having fun about that, you know, because you know, y'all come from Canada, right? And so y'all,
Originally,
yeah, originally y'all,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what it's about. And we were talking about, hey, what happens if they make it the 51st state? And I was going to say that to you. Everybody look at him like, nah.
Nah.
You don't want the headache.
And that's what he said.
You don't.
I asked him, and that's exactly what he said.
It's
You don't
not
want the
worth it.
headache. It worked out just right, didn't it?
It works out all right. It's fine. So
Mhm.
yeah, so so the show.
Another show coming up.
Yeah, the show coming up on August 22nd. We're actually opening for a really great, one of my favorite 90s bands called Fastball.
Fastball, yes.
Yeah, so and they had a number of hits throughout the years. So we're really excited to open up for them.
To do something like that.
Yeah, because you know we all know them from the 90s, you know, and some of the hits that they had. So we're pretty.
Where you guys
excited.
where's that gonna be at?
The Buffalo Rose.
Oh, yeah, that's up
Yeah,
in Golden.
in Golden.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah,
That's
great
a nice
room.
place, yeah.
Yeah, it's all been redone. We're actually going there this afternoon to kind of check out the venue because I haven't, and these guys haven't been there, but I haven't been there since they did the renovations
Oh,
on it.
shoot, yeah, it's really nice, and plus Golden is really bringing up some artists up there on the outdoors. They have a facility where you do these events outdoors.
Right,
And then
yeah.
Buffalo Rose is there, and everybody's doing events in there.
Absolutely, yeah. So,
It's right upside the mountain by Coors.
yeah. So it's
they
a
have-
great venue.
Even better.
And
It has the balcony all the way up around the top and everything, so we're really looking forward to that show, and we'll have a lot more shows coming up, you know,
yeah,
throughout the years.
everybody know that you're back and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
What
So-
did you do while you sat around and you know?
Well, you know, I have a recording studio that
Yes.
I've had for, you know, almost 9 years
Yeah.
in Littleton,
Right.
Dude Tunes Recording. So I've been recording, I've been producing a lot of different artists and different things, and playing on a lot of different other people's records, and still playing. And I've done a few private shows and a few things over the years, but nothing really major. So just got the itch to say, you know what, I want to start playing again.
And doing it right.
And
And
putting the
so,
band back together, right? So yeah.
Big shout out to Japan, Colombia, Mexico, India, Hungary, Germany, Bangladesh, Brazil, and Argentina. We have a good little crowd here, so which is good, you know. So, you know, we advertise it, we put it up, and you got the poster and stuff. So we're pushing it out there on all the social media sites as well as in other parts.
Well, I
of
appreciate that.
Other parts of
Appreciate
the
that.
world, you know,
Yeah.
because you know we do have Peter Hatton in the Northern Quarter. He comes on at night at 7 p.m. He actually is a pre-recorded show because we couldn't line up the timing for the live, so he just pre-records and sends it in the next day.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then,
So I wanted to talk a little bit about the new single, Beautiful Letdown.
yeah, you bet.
It's actually a single and a song that I wrote in the 80s.
Whoa, and that's okay because sometimes it's a timeless song, and if you revamp it or redo it in any particular way, or even
Yeah.
If you're orchestrating a little bit different into your sound, it comes out so nice.
Yeah. So when I moved here, it was about a year ago. My wife and I were sitting in her office, and we were going through some of the old files and stuff. And it was actually my wife Maria. She came upon an old version of this. It was just an old live version
Yes.
of it. And she goes, "Hey, what about this song?" And I listened to it. I was, "Oh, I forgot about that song."
It sounds
So
great, I bet you.
I took the song, kind of rewrote it, reproduced it, and we recorded it. And when we recorded it, and when the final mix came out, and we had a lot of people listen to it to help us decide what the first single is, you know, as always. And they picked this one,
And we're gonna get to hear
really
this one
pleased.
at the end of the show, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
so you brought it in,
Yeah.
I says, and I looked at it, you go, there's 3 versions, and I go, okay, so we'll pick one, whatever
Yep.
plays well.
Absolutely, yeah.
go for
And
it.
we launched the new website, patrickdune.com. It's a brand new website that just went live as well too. So you can, and for the first time on my new website, you can go and check out my entire discography
Wow.
of all my past stuff, and check it
I
out.
mean, has it got the T in there, the good stuff? Before Maria? Just
It's
kidding.
got old stuff right back to the 80s, right back to the 80s.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you can go and listen to some stuff from the
All
80s
the
and
songs
stuff
that
as
you
well
brought
too.
out back then,
Absolutely, yeah,
all the way up to
yeah.
now. Can
All
you
the way
play
up to
them
right
and
now.
everything?
You can play clips on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, pieces, so
Yep,
you
you
can
can you can definitely play clips of each one of those, and if you like the songs,
hear it.
download it,
Yes.
please. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, and that's what's cool. Now, how many songs would you say are on that website?
With
You
the
probably have-
discography, probably at
Jesus.
least 30, maybe 35 songs
Wow,
of old
that's a
catalog
lot of
stuff.
work.
Yep, yep.
To
There's,
upload those and get a website working, sometimes they don't, what the hell's wrong with this?
Yeah, that's why it took a lot with my web designer to, and I was telling these guys the other day, you don't realize how many songs you have in your catalog, and they both have a lot of songs in their catalogs too. You don't realize how many songs that you have when you actually sit down and you put them on a list.
Compile them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then you look at it and you go, wow, look at all this stuff, right?
Okay, so what brought you guys all back together? Because you guys obviously talk to one another, you know, and talk about things, so what brought you all back together?
Well, I started talking to Kevin last year. When I came up with the idea, I was thinking, okay, I want to get out and play. I want to do a new record. I've been writing a lot of new songs over the last couple of years.
Sort of like the Blues Brothers, let's get the band back together.
Exactly. We're getting
And
the
we're on
band
a
back
mission from
together.
God, so it works.
So I called Kevin first, and I said, Kevin, I want to run an idea by you because we've always kept in contact. And I said, Kevin, I'm thinking about putting the band back together and recording a new record. I have some new songs, and I wanted to know, because he still lives in Canada, they both do, and how would you think about being on the record? And Kevin, like in 30 seconds, said, I'm in.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because when he called me and said, 'cause I own a studio in where I live, and I thought, okay, I'll just record my tracks in my studio
And
and
then-
then ship them or
Wow.
send them down. And he's like, no,
Just come
I
here.
want you to come here. I'm like, right on. I'm in. That's what I said. I'm in.
Yeah.
Kinda like the Simpsons, you just, no, let's do it live.
Yeah, let's do it live. Yeah, so a lot of stuff's live off the floor. You know, with
And you
very few-
agreed, you said, okay, I'll be there.
Jumped at it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep. And then my brother, I contacted my brother to be on the record as well too, but he doesn't really play much anymore. So, Mike, again, they're longtime friends, and he was a fan of our band.
That's how
back in
hot
the
this
day.
song gets, hear it?
Exactly.
Somebody call the fire department.
It's fire.
There you go.
Someone put
Fire.
out the fire.
It's fire. The single is fire. So, Kevin contacted
Okay,
Michael. who
because he was looking for a bass player. And I said, you know what? I think I got a guy that can do this.
And Michael was
So I
there.
introduced the project to Michael, and Michael said,
Yeah. So
Come
I.
in.
Yeah,
So I.
'cause- Well, I was gonna say, cause actually back in the 80s, I'd actually seen the original band these guys were in, The Keep.
Yes.
And I thought, well, they really need some help now, so I should probably come down and help them. No, actually, no, I thought, you know, it was, no.
No conceit in this family.
No, none
No, I'm just
whatsoever.
kidding.
I'm only
You're
dragging,
not.
I'm the rock, I'm dragging him down. No, but Kevin rang me up and asked, I thought, yeah, you know, let's check it out. And so we met, we ran over the songs in
met
Toronto,
a
met a rehearsal space.
in Toronto.
And I thought Pat's songwriting was fantastic.
Wow.
And that was true to form, and just kind of learning the songs on the spot. I thought this is, you know, some great melodies, some great stories, and, you know, why not, you know, so I was all in.
And I remember you did at the Hawkins Theater, something like that, up north in Longmont. We did a live feed with you, because I was bringing up all these old things.
That's right. Yes, we
Yes.
did a live feed for a concert we did up there. That was at the Dickens Opera
Dickens
House.
Opera House, there it was.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
found that and I go, whoa, and he was stood there
Yeah,
listening to,
yeah,
whoa, they sound
yeah.
good.
Yep.
You guys were sounding great. It's like, and that was way back too. It's
That
like,
was-
we
that
said,
was
let's
way
do a
back.
live feed.
Yeah.
People will like it, just carry it out there and came
So,
out nice.
so as always, you know, with the band, you know, there's always an evolution, you know. So a lot of the new songs, I think, you know, in my writing style, you know, has evolved over time, and I'm really happy with this set of new songs. And you know, when you put a bunch of songs together, they gotta fit, you know, into a project. You know, it's kind of like
Yes.
one of those things. It's
It
not
all
like the others,
melds
so they gotta
together,
all
yeah.
they gotta all fit the project
gotta
and
gel.
the theme.
And they work.
Yeah, so I think we got a great bunch of songs on the record, a lot of good stories.
So if you guys have let's say you get a lot of gigs here in the Denver or surrounding areas,
Mhm.
you two are gonna be able to come down all the time.
Nexus holder, passport's valid, I'm good. I actually love coming to America
Yeah.
to play. You know, I've done it in the past, and I love the
Sir,
American
sir, come with
audiences.
me, I'm ice.
What do you mean, number two? Why?
Yeah, I know.
Why are we doing that?
Why are we
You know,
doing that?
I love it. You know,
Yeah.
American audiences they're great. You know, and you know, and with these guys, you know, I think it's a, you know, if I can say, it's a bit of a force to be reckoned with. Where it's going to come out really strong and really rich, and you know, and Pat's singing, of course, and you know, is impeccable. So it's
You
it'd be
both
enjoyable.
sing?
Well, I do, but just backups.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
backups,
No.
nothing.
Yeah,
Nice.
Mike sings a lot of the backup, which is great. One of the other things that's a little different about this record than the last ones is, one, everyone's always known me for my Rickenbacker guitars and
Ooh,
Rickenbacker
yes.
guitar tones, but on this one there's a lot more actually 12-string Rickenbacker
Wow.
on this record, so which is, you know, evolved the sound even a little bit more. So I'm
Now,
really happy
Patrick,
about that.
you know, you're talking about these axes that you have. I'm sure you give
Yeah.
them names.
Yeah.
This 12-string, what do you call it?
Well, there's a new 12-string that I have. It's a 1984 custom, and I bought it from Norm at Norm's Rare Guitars in LA.
Remember? Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm not sure if I have a name for that one yet. She's just a beauty. It's a
So it's a
Potterburst.
female, say, look at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all females. But I do have some other guitars. One's named after my wife Maria, and then there's another old there's an old Fender Tele I have, which is a Cabaranita style one as well too. But I don't know. In my collection of guitars over the years, there's a lot. So
It's a big collection.
it's a big
Yes,
collection.
and
So it's
you
hard to
keep-
find
you
a lot of
keep-
names for them.
Yeah, he keeps his eye on them too. You gotta always keep your eye on them, because everybody's trying to grab them, because they're so.
Well, yeah, so they a lot of the vintage ones don't go out too
Oh, so
often, you know, unless they're local shows here where I can keep an eye on 'em. But one of the things that I did when I built my studio with my father years ago here is I actually built and dedicated a actual guitar room,
Oh, really?
right?
Wow, nice.
So I have a separate room just for my guitars, and most of the ones are hung up, and they're the ones that I play with and that I record with in the studio.
Because they have
So-
that full, rich sound, and
Yeah,
you just love the
absolutely.
way it comes
And they're
out.
accessible
Yeah,
to me,
right
so I
there,
don't have to
pull it
go
there.
pull them out of
Yeah.
cases all the time, so they're just
Unhook 'em,
accessible that,
take
hey, I
'em
wanna
out.
use this one for this song or something for this song,
Yeah.
so that's nice too, and it's nice.
And I was happy to hear from you too, you know, so, because I get all these inquiries from all over the place, you know.
Yeah,
I even
yeah.
get them from the other side of the world, but those are kind of hard to deal with. I gotta be in here very early and they're very late and to
Time
do the
zones,
interviews,
yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
have an 8-hour time zone differences,
Right?
or the 13-hour differences if you're going into Japan. We did one out of Australia, and that was strange. It's the next day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So-
It's like, okay.
So you record it and it comes out the next
No,
day?
we,
or-
it's live.
It's live.
Live
It's
the
the
next
next
day.
It's the next day out
But,
there.
yeah,
It's-
right.
So out here is Saturday, and we're Friday.
Yeah.
Strange.
Well, I always come to you, Henry. You were the first one when I first came to Colorado. You gave me the opportunity and helped me release one of my first singles here.
I
So
remember that,
you were
yeah.
the first guy I called with KUHS radio for the single.
And that was
release.
cool, I
So,
really liked it,
it's
because we
great.
were offering all the different genres on our station, and
Yeah.
we wanted all that variation that was going on here.
And I think back then when we released my first single, you weren't really doing kind of rock kind of stuff, but you took
Now
a
we-
chance on me. You do now,
Yeah, we
but
do
back then
everything
you weren't
now,
doing a
and-
lot back then,
yeah.
and you took a chance on my first single, so I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I hadn't
that's-
forgot about it. So
Yeah, we do a
thank
little bit of everything now, and so, we do country, we do rock, we do EDM, we do a little bit of everything, and so that's what
That's great.
catapulted it.
That's great.
People will, hey, that show's on, let me listen to it, and then they get off, so.
Yeah.
When we first were doing only, like 4 or 5 genres, like you said, not a lot of rock and stuff, and it was like plateauing off, and it just wasn't climbing like it is now. I mean, it's climbing like crazy.
Well, that's great.
It does,
Great.
It does a good job.
Well, I love the new station here. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's different. It's,
yeah, it's different than the last one, but wow.
Yeah.
And
It's
Henry,
bigger
if any
scale.
of your worldwide listeners want us to come and tour the country, we're open to that,
Absolutely,
Shameless
we're
plug,
open to
shameless
Don't say
plug.
that. Don't
Well,
say that.
send the
Hey,
invite, we'll be there. We love it.
Absolutely, he's correct. So
Yeah,
if if there's enough demand and fan base, please
We'll be
everyone
there.
reach out to us on the new website patrickdoon.com and let us know. And if there's enough demand, we will definitely come and play in your town.
Come into a
Absolutely.
town near you.
Yes.
There's a gentleman that lives in Denver. He's a drummer. His name's Daryl Woolfolk. His brother was Andrew Woolfolk, the saxophone player of Earth, Wind and Fire, but he plays for Gladys Knight all over the planet, right?
Oh wow.
So he was on tour with her in Europe, and I told this one guy, he's Peter Hatton, he does our show for us. I go,
Right.
do you want to go do the stadium thing and go broadcast for us? I think, oh, no way, mate. No way. I'm not going into town. It's crazy. Gladys Knight is here. I go, okay, forget it. He would not venture out. He said, it's just too crazy. It was called The Last, it was billed really cool, The Last Prom. That's what they called it. And so
Very
Daryl
nice.
was sending me all these pictures up in the stadium of everything. Jesus.
So you still go out like you mentioned. So
Yes.
if we did play a show
Yeah,
here,
well,
you
yeah.
still come out and film
Yeah,
it,
we have different.
broadcast it,
yeah.
simulcast it.
Yes,
Yeah?
we have
Okay.
different varieties of ways we do it. We even have a truck that can go out with the cameras. And so it's a little different. Or we can just go out with, some of these newer phones have cinematic cameras built on them.
Right,
But we
right.
bring the Osmos and stuff like
Okay.
that, which they balance everything out really well.
So maybe we'll talk to you about the
And then
show
do
in
an
August.
interview.
What's the date of that show?
August 22nd.
And we
it's a
do it
Friday.
back,
Yeah.
behind the scenes and talk to you and all that before you go
Yeah.
on and come in and then turn it back on.
Okay, we'll
broadcast.
talk about that. Maybe we'll get you
Yeah.
down for that
Yeah,
show. That'll be a
sure.
big show for us.
We do a lot of
and,
fun stuff now.
We could do a back green room
Yeah.
interview before the show, and
The
yeah,
only
it'd be
thing,
great
if you
to
notice,
simulcast.
people all go
Great.
live and they do their thing and they're all over the board with, stay still, man, we can't even
Yeah.
see what's going on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
now
yeah.
we make ours really well done, so.
Okay,
And then we
okay.
also pan the crowd very slowly and stuff like that. I sent this one gal, she was, with us, she's no longer with us, but she had just got with us, she goes, well, what's my, assignment for tonight? I go, you're gonna go down to Botanica, and I go, Botanica, yeah, the gardens.
Botanica Gardens, yeah, they have a lot of concerts there.
What
Yeah.
am I gonna be doing? I go, well, you're gonna interview the mayor, his inauguration, and Babyface is gonna be there, and he's gonna be live. And you're gonna go backstage. What the F? You wanted to do this.
That's great.
Threw
That's
into
great.
the fire.
Threw in the fire.
So you get a lot of demand
Oh,
from a lot of different.
yes,
I
from
mean,
everybody.
how many years is KUHS?
14?
14 years.
14
That's
years.
about just as long as I've been here.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a long
So,
time.
that's
So,
great.
but we've morphed, like I was showing you, we use the AI and
Yeah.
AI to make commercials.
Mhm.
Not all the time, just sometimes when we need it quick. And it's really helped us considerably to do all these different variations, especially on social media. It can reach out there and it can tell you who's real, who isn't.
That's great. That's
So you
great.
gotta really be careful of that, cause there's some crazy.
Well, it's the technology today, and I talk about that all the time. Even all of us, and in my studio all the time, is how much the technology's evolved.
Yes,
and
it's getting
and
scary.
I
They can
try
make
and
songs
you
now,
know,
music.
I'm an old school kind of guy, so I kind of keep my studio as what I call the hybrid. So we're doing computer stuff for the recordings, but a lot of outboard vintage gear.
Real good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and even
that gives it the sound. doesn't
even
it?
a lot of the, like Mike plays with vintage tube amps for his bass amp. I play with the, guitars with my AC30 boxes. It's all tube stuff. We all play
Nice.
old school
Old
tubes.
school,
It just
yeah.
sounds better.
It does.
Right?
It's warm.
Yes,
It's warmer.
sweet. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's exactly like you were saying, when I was talking with, how, drummers, how their drums sound, if they're using an old Rogers set or an old Pearl set, or just the way certain stuff sounds, it makes for a really clean, clear sound that you can't get with digital,
Yeah, absolutely.
other kind of digital.
Absolutely. And that was
AI
something really,
stuff.
that was something really cool that Kevin did when we recorded the record. He brought down some of his vintage snares that you had.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
one does
that's a big key.
Which one did you have
with
again?
some-
I brought the Aot Keplinger,
Wow.
DW Maple
Yes.
Wood. I brought a couple so we could
With the maple sound.
try which
and-
one would
Yeah,
fit best
yeah.
with the song. Then we switched it
Sure.
around, song
Yes.
to song. They weren't wasn't the same
So
snare.
it gives it that really clean,
Snap.
Snap.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
And you said that perfectly. I was gonna say that next. Is you get that really clean, clear snap on that snare. Man, it gives that band that clean sound. And the dynamics of a band, like the drummers drumming, you'll see this as some bands, they won't bring the dynamics down. They'll let, like, you're gonna start singing and playing. They
Mhm.
don't bring it down to let that go. And so a good drummer does that, with that snap. It just has it just perfect.
Or
Yeah,
Gotta have that in
You
there.
gotta have that.
Yeah, we're always joking with him in the studio.
Raz
That's
and-
little-
He's got a certain
little
move he always
hi-hat.
does. It's always a hi-hat move somewhere.
That's
my
Sounds
lick.
great.
It's my
Yeah,
lick.
no,
My
but
lick.
yeah.
That's the way I do.
It's signature,
It's my
right?
That's your
signature.
signature,
Yes.
that's right.
Everyone's got to have a signature,
That's
right?
right, that's
So
right.
there you go.
It's been fun having you here, so we're on, what, 30 minutes, yeah, we're gonna do 3 more minutes and talk a little bit more about your release and, some of the album. You got a whole album coming with
Yep,
this one?
absolutely.
How many songs are on it?
It's probably going to end about we haven't had the final count, but either 10 or 12 songs are going to be
I
on the
was
full
counting
record.
it at 8, cause I've seen a lot of people that cutting it back, I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it just depends. When I've always released records, it's going to come out on vintage vinyl.
Right.
It's as well too. It's going to come
That's
out on
big right
CD
now.
as well too. Yeah, it's because the vinyl's coming back
Yeah.
and we got demand for that. And I'm always a fan of, even on my last CDs, of having like a fold out. So they're going to have pull outs. They're going to have
Nice.
words. They're going to have pictures. So they can kind of get to know the band a little bit in the pictures, the process we went through in the studio to record it. So they'll have something that they can actually look at and while they're
Patrick,
listening to the music.
we were talking about how many years were you sitting down before you're bringing this back? Is it 2 or 3?
How many years since my last record? That's probably just before COVID, so a little bit more than that.
About 4
So
there.
about 4 years, maybe
Yeah.
4.5 years.
Yeah, 4.5 years.
So it's been
Yeah,
about.
COVID made everybody sit down. It's like crazy.
Yeah, it just slowed the process down for everyone. So now everything, we're
Back in
happy,
order, yeah.
we're back in order, we're starting to opening up, everyone's starting to play again, so.
So I'm gonna push this up again and we'll take a look. How about you hold it there and I'll just
Yeah,
zoom
sure,
in-
absolutely.
Zoom in on it so you can see where you can get it. Where can we get this at, Patrick?
PatrickDune.com. It's going to be streaming on all your regular streaming sites like Apple, Amazon, Pandora. Yeah, all the usual streaming suspects. So as well as you can get it on the site as well too.
Suspects.
So yeah. So we're excited. I hope everyone goes and checks out the new single, and you like it as much as we did and enjoyed recording it for you. And yeah, we're excited about the new record coming out. So I hope everyone enjoys it.
If you've been listening to us, we are KUHS Radio TV station, internationally driven now, and Patrick Dune, and his cohorts.
The Desert Hearts.
The
Desert
Desert
Hearts.
Hearts. And all the way, I can say all of you are from Canada originally, right?
Originally, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
absolutely.
And so, don't forget to, I had Patrick in here a while back, and so I finally got to bring him back. I had to go beg him, I was knocking on his door, peeking in his windows,
No.
send him emails. Patrick, Henry, get that.
No,
Just kidding.
no, absolutely.
It's
Again,
my
you were the
story.
first guy.
Restraining
called.
order.
Sorry.
That's why he has guard dogs.
That's the one that bit me. And with that being said, thank you, Patrick, and you guys too
Thank
for
you.
being
Thank you,
here,
Henry.
being a part of KUHS. So make sure and get this new single, and stay tuned on the radio side if you'd like. And we're gonna pop it the song in right now, and you're gonna tell me which one you want me to use.
I can use the 16-bit 44 one. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, any one of them is just fine. So enjoy. Thank you so much.
You bet.
It's a pleasure being here again.
So with that being said, I'm gonna kind of override this song with my voice so I don't get copyright infringements like I always do. So tune in to KUHS Radio. You can hear the whole thing because we're gonna tune this down. See you guys all later, okay?
All right.
All right.
Well,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Thank
See
you
ya.
so much.